A suspicious package containing an explosive device was found in Hermit Park residential area, forcing residents to be evacuated from their homes. The emergency lasted nearly 4 hours, and police said on Thursday night that 2 men and a woman have been charged with various offences related to the incident. School programs to deter children from using ice is criticised by drug experts. Critics say the meth project is making ice use seem more acceptable than deterring use in juveniles. Swastikas were drawn on 9 World War II veteran graves in Nowra, New South Wales. The community rallied to clean them up. A teenager who allegedly stabbed a train passenger who caught him urinating on a station ticket machine has handed himself in to the police. The incident occurred at Kirrawee Station, New South Wales. A woman has suffered serious injuries to her hands, foot and leg, including severed fingers and toes, in an alleged machete attack in Sydney southwest. Police say the alleged attack followed a heated argument between the woman and her husband who were driving together. Officers charged him with attempted murder and wounding with intent to murder. A man used a paver to knock a woman unconscious as she walked along Safety Bay Road in Rockingham. He also attacked another woman with a brick on Monday 29th of August. In both cases, he stole their mobile phones. The 55-year-old man charged with Elijah Doty's death in Boulder did not appear in court as scheduled. Scenes outside the courthouse were in stark contrast to the peaceful candlelit vigil of the night before. A school pornography website is back up and running 10 days after being shut down by the police. The website continues to show illegal images of underage girls. Hundreds of individual names have appeared on wanted lists, including the names of sisters and entire friendship circles. About 70 schools across the country have been targeted. A teenage girl and a friend will be extradited to Adelaide to face charges over the murder of her grandfather. A French citizen is charged with the murder of a British woman on August the 25th. Mia Akelith Chung was stabbed to death at the Shelley Backpackers in Home Hill near Townsville. The man also injured 2 men who came to her aid, one critically. Paramedics were powerless to save Mia, who died on the hostel floor. A woman has been charged with murdering her husband and attempting to kill 2 children. She pleaded not guilty to both charges in Perth Magistrates Court. Paul Cosgrove has pleaded guilty to unlawfully killing his baby daughter at the family's Ellenbrook home. An Adelaide man has been arrested for online child sex offences and for failing to comply with his child sex offender reporting obligation. Kathy Jackson, former head of the Health Services Union, is facing 70 counts of theft and deception-related offences as part of an ongoing investigation. The New South Wales government caseworker for a 15-year-old girl who died of a drug overdose while in state care has told an inquest she was a textbook example of a traumatised child. Gary Stephen Davis is accused of injecting the residents of a nursing home with large doses of insulin at the Summit Care facility in Wallsend in October 2013. The majority of these crimes are domestic or cases of abuse by people who are in a position of power and intimacy. Australia-wide crime statistics overall trends show an increase in family and domestic violence and sexual violence against females. Reports of sexual assault have reached a 6-year high according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Nationally, over 4 in 5 sexual assault victims were female. Aboriginal women are 34 times more likely to suffer domestic violence than non-Indigenous women, and almost 11 times more likely to die at the hands of their partners. But they are far less likely to report their abuse to authorities for fear their children will be taken away, according to Aboriginal Housing Victoria. While the plight of women is highlighted frequently in discussions on domestic violence, the 1 in 3 campaign seeks to raise awareness for male victims of family domestic violence. Men are less than half as likely as women to have told anybody about partner violence, to have sought advice or support, or to have contacted the police. 500,000 women have experienced sexual or violent assault in the last 12 months, and the estimated number of men experiencing domestic violence in the same period is 167,000, with a total of 667,000 people being affected. To counter this, the National Plan to Reduce Violence Against Women and Their Children will receive $29.8 million per year. The Office for Women will receive $3.6 million per year. And the National Awareness Campaign to Reduce Violence Against Women and Their Children will receive a further $10 million per year, with a total of $43.4 million being spent per annum. To contrast this with terrorist incidents in Australia, there have been 3 terrorist attacks in Australia in the last 10 years, 3 dead and 6 injured. To combat this, the government has budgeted $450 million to strengthen Australia's intelligence capabilities, including updating information technology and systems and counter-extremist messaging. $22 million to combat terrorist propaganda and counter violent extremism, especially over the internet and social media. $750 million to extend and expand Australia's military operations in Afghanistan, Iraq and the Middle East, with a total of $1.2 billion. Family domestic violence creates victims of 1 in 6 females and 1 in 20 males, suggesting it would be in the national interest to address these budget discrepancies.